Hello students, this is Miss Hughes and today's problem solving strategy is making a table or by starting with a simpler case. Here's an example. How many matchsticks are needed to make 20 fish? We have a picture with 3 fish, so we know that 3 fish, this is what it looks like. How many would there be for 20 fish? So we're going to try and do a table, but in order to do a table we need some data, so we need some values. And how about we start with a simpler case? So rather than going straight from 3 fish, why don't we start with just 1 fish and then 2 fish and so on. So there is my data and I'm going to put some values into a table. So let's make a little table here. I'm going to use N to stand for the number of fish and F to stand for, M to stand for the number of matchsticks. So for 1 fish, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches. For 2, I counted earlier, I need 14. There are 14 matches here. For 3, I counted 20. For 4, I counted 26. And we want to find out eventually how many for 20 fish. So let's see what we notice. First of all, you might notice that these values increase by 6 every time. So that might be a little clue. Now, throughout this year, you'll probably be practicing a lot how to find rules from tables. So you'll learn a few shortcuts to help you find out the rules for this table. But a key is in this 6. So let's try and see what happens if we multiply these numbers by 6, because the 6 times table also increases by 6. So let's say we do 1 times 6, we get 6, but I want 8 matchsticks. So I still need to add 2. Now let's see if that works for the next case. 2 fish times 6, add 2. That's 2 times 6 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Let's try it with the next number. Oh, yeah, 3 times 6 plus 2, that's 18 plus 2 is 20. And let's try it with 4. 4 times 6 plus 2 is 20. So notice that in each case, if we multiply the number of fish by 6 and add 2, we get the total number of matchsticks. When you do your write-up, it is important that you try and think about why that happens. But for the moment, we're just trying to answer this question. So I'm going to do the same with 20 fish. 20 times 6, add 2. That's 120 plus 2 is 122. So for 20 matchsticks, 20 fish, I would need 122 matchsticks. And doing a table helped us understand that problem. Okay, here is another problem. A captain and a vice captain are to be chosen from a team of 20 players. In how many different ways can this be done? Let's pretend that our 20 players have initials, first name initials, A, B, C, D. So there's our 20 players. I've just listed the first few. And we're going to start by, rather than thinking, what if there's 20 players? How many different ways can I choose a captain and a team player? What if I just had 2 players? So let's just cover this up a little bit. So what if I had just 2 players? Now you can see that I could have A as the captain or B as the captain. So with 2 players, there are 2 possible ways to make this choice. I then looked at what if you had 3 players, so A, B, and C, and I listed all the possible combinations, and there were 6. Same with 4 different players, A, B, C, D, there are 12 combinations. And earlier we worked out in another podcast that if there were 5 players, then there are 20 possible combinations. Now let's see if a table helps us. So I'm going to make a table. I'm going to use N to stand for the number of people in the team, and let's go for C for the number of choices. So with 2 people, we had 2 choices. With 3 people, we had 6 choices. With 4 people, we had 12 choices. and with 5 people we had 20 choices. And we somehow want to find out what about if there were 20 in the team. So there's a few different things you might notice, but if you play around with the numbers for a little while, you might notice that this is the same as 1 times 2. This is the same as 2 times 3, and 3 times 4, and 4 times 5. And you might even notice that this number is the same as this number. So if we want to do this for the 20th number, for 20 people in a team, I need to do 19 times 20, which is 380, I believe. So 380 different ways of choosing a captain and a vice captain from a team of 20 players. Again, notice that the table helped us find a pattern. That was making a table.